You take off your shoes at the end of the day and the room changes. And you assume the reason is simple. Your feet are dirty. They need a wash. But that smell is not dirt, and it is not really even your feet. It is the waste product of trillions of living things that call your feet home. Your foot is not a body part that happens to smell. It is a thriving, crowded, working ecosystem. A warm, damp, well-fed farm. And the smell is simply the farm doing business. You have never had stinky feet. You have had a very successful colony. Start with the sweat. The soles of your feet are packed with sweat glands. Somewhere around 125,000 of them. Some of the densest concentration anywhere on your body. Each foot can pour out a startling amount of moisture every single day. Your feet are, frankly, leaking constantly. But here is the twist that ruins the obvious story. That sweat, on its own, is almost completely odorless. It is mostly water and salt. If your feet only sweated and nothing else were involved, they would be damp and silent. You could soak them all day and they would smell of nothing. The sweat is not the villain. The sweat is the buffet. So if the wet stuff itself does not stink, then something is taking that odorless sweat and turning it into the smell that clears a room. Something is doing the work, and that something is alive, and there is a truly staggering amount of it living on you right now. Your skin is coated in bacteria, completely normal, mostly harmless, and present in numbers that do not bear thinking about. On your feet especially, where it is warm and moist and dark for most of the day, they gather in enormous, thriving populations. This is not a sign you are unclean. Everyone is carrying this farm. Yours is just well watered, and these bacteria are hungry. They feast on the steady supply your feet provide. The sweat, the oils, and above all, the dead skin cells your feet shed constantly. Your foot is essentially a never-ending buffet of moisture and flakes, served warm, in the dark, all day long. From a bacterium's point of view, your shoe is paradise. And here is the part you have been avoiding. When those bacteria eat, they excrete. The smell of your feet is, bluntly, bacterial waste. As they break down the sweat and dead skin, they release pungent compounds, the most famous being something called isovaleric acid. That sharp, sweaty, sour note. That is not your foot. That is the exhaust. So the thing you have spent your whole life thinking of as your feet smelling is really the collective output of a microscopic civilization that lives on you, eats what you shed, and breathes out the consequences. You are not the smell. You are the landlord. But the truly unhinged part is which bacteria are doing it. Because one of the star players in foot odor is a microbe called Brevibacterium. It loves the salty, sweaty, dead skin environment between your toes. And if that name sounds suspiciously specific, it is, because you have met this bacterium before. At dinner. Brevibacterium is the exact same kind of bacterium used to ripen some of the world's smelliest cheeses. Limburger, Munster. The washed rind cheeses people describe fondly as smelling like feet. They smell like feet because they are made by a close relative of the same organism that lives on your feet. Same microbe, same chemistry, same smell. This is not a loose comparison. It is not that feet sort of smell cheesy. It is that a cheesemaker takes a relative of your foot bacteria, deliberately smears it onto a wheel of cheese, and lets it do to the cheese exactly what it does to your feet. The stinky cheese on the board and the smell in your shoe are chemically cousins. So the next time someone offers you a really pungent cheese and describes it as having character, you now know precisely what that character is. It is the smell of a microbe doing to milk the exact thing it has been doing to your feet inside your shoes all day. Enjoy. And there is something almost beautiful about it. A single family of bacteria found two completely different homes. The warm crevices of a human foot and the rind of a fermenting cheese. And in both places, it does the same quiet work and produces the same unmistakable smell. Your feet and a fine cheese are running the same recipe. So why do your feet smell worse than, say, your hands when both are covered in bacteria? One word: shoes. A shoe is a sealed, warm, dark, humid box that you keep your foot inside for hours. It traps the sweat, holds in the heat, and blocks the air. You have essentially built your bacteria a perfect, climate-controlled greenhouse. Inside that greenhouse, the population explodes. More warmth, more moisture, and no fresh air means the bacteria multiply far faster and produce far more of those pungent compounds. The smell is not a constant. It is a population boom, and you trigger it every single morning when you seal the box. This is also why airing your feet out helps so much. Open air, dryness, and light are hostile to the bloom. Take the foot out of the warm, wet dark, and the farm slows right down. The smell was never really about how dirty your feet were. It was about how good a home you were giving the tenants, which means the real lever is not scrubbing harder. It is staying dry. Dry feet, dry socks, shoes that get a chance to air out between wearings. You are not fighting filth. You are draining a swamp. Deny the bacteria the warm, wet dark, and you take away the one thing the whole operation runs on. Now, for a genuinely strange consequence, those same foot odor compounds, the ones your bacteria pump out, drift off your feet as a chemical signal. And it turns out, you are not the only one who can smell them. Something else has been following that trail for a very long time. Mosquitoes. Certain mosquitoes are powerfully attracted to the exact smell of human feet. Researchers discovered the attraction is so specific that they could bait mosquito traps with Limburger cheese, the foot-smelling cheese, and the mosquitoes would fly straight to it. To a mosquito, your feet and a wheel of stinky cheese are the same delicious advertisement. So the smell you are so self-conscious about is, to a mosquito, an irresistible dinner bell. Your bacteria are not just making a smell. They are running a beacon, broadcasting your location to the one insect you least want to find you. Your feet are advertising. Step back and look at what your foot actually is. A buffet for bacteria, a factory for smell, a twin of a fine cheese, and a homing signal for mosquitoes. A single body part, quietly hosting an entire conversation between microbes, chemistry, and other animals. Every hour, you have it laced into a shoe. So, that smell at the end of the day is not a hygiene failure. It is the sound of a healthy, well-fed colony reporting in. You cannot scrub it away for good, because the moment your feet are warm and damp again, the farm reopens. It always comes back because it lives there. It is a tenant, not a stain. The most you can do is manage it. Keep it dry, give it air, and accept that you are not so much cleaning your feet as running a very small, very smelly piece of agriculture. The bacteria are not the enemy. They were always going to win. You are just negotiating the terms. So go ahead and wash your feet. It helps for a while. But somewhere in your shoes, the farm is already reopening for business, doing the exact same thing as the finest cheese in France, and quietly inviting the mosquitoes over.